Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back for another episode of A Game of Thrones. No, not A Game of Thrones, it's just called Game of Thrones. So, we, in the last episode, got in a fight we really didn't want to be in, at the wall with the Seraph, who is always causing trouble and is really the central figure of causing trouble. Uh, and I imagine that's going to be the case continuing, and so we cut to the next scene, and I think we're back in Ironrath. We need to try to appease the Whitehall kid and let him feel like he's in charge. We've got a spy in our court. I think it's the Maester. It might be whoever was picked as Sentinel. It might be whoever wasn't picked as Sentinel. I wouldn't be surprised if it was exactly written like that. So they had it, if you picked the aggressive guy as Sentinel, it would be the more passive guy. If you picked the more passive advisor, which I did as Sentinel, it would be the more aggressive guy. But I would suspect it would just be easier for writing and gameplay programming. It would be the Maester always. But we can't just kill the Maester or whoever the spy is. We need to start feeding false information to him and biding our time. Everything is going wrong in every single story. The Serf is not making a lot of progress to find the North Grove. I don't think he's gonna find anything there. Even if he does, Ash is not making a great amount of progress to get an army, and Mira is not making a great lot of progress to secure any funds or any assistance whatsoever for the Forresters. Let's get into the game now. That was a pretty long recap.
My lord, our people are starving and afraid. The Whitehills have driven them away from the ironwood groves.
Out of the way!
Yeah, I think I'd just tell all my people to flee.
And so they come to us, looking for food. Food we don't have to spare. How can we support an army and retain our position in the north if we can't even feed the people we see before us? It's like the dead of winter's come. And it doesn't look like it's getting better. I don't have all the answers, and maybe I shouldn't expect them from you. Forgive me, my lord. Well, I hope we can figure something out. As long as the Whitehills are in our house, we have to be careful.
Come on, you!
Let me go! You can't do this!
Good. You're here. Look at this! Did you see what this girl did? She attacked my man like an animal.
Bloody bit me.
Yeah, now it's her turn. She's gonna get what she has coming to her. This won't go unpunished.
Let go of me!
I don't care if she's your sister.
Fine. You brought her to me. I'll deal with her.
That's not for you to decide.
I saw him stealing from our kitchen, and I told him to stop. He laid his hands on me, so I bit him.
Bloody wench!
I was only doing what had to be done.
I warned you not to mistreat my men. Someone will have to answer for this. Do you hear me? Don't make this ugly.
Your men are out of control. That's the problem here.
It's your people who don't know the order of things. This girl's as untamed as a wildling.
Don't listen to him, Roderick.
And if you can't rein her in, yeah, what about the rest of them? It's about time she saw a real lord again and learned proper discipline.
My sister, she made a mistake. That's all. She is but a child, and this arrangement tests us all. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
She's not the only one who's made mistakes. And the problem starts at the top, Roderick.
Careful, boy.
You yourself had the gall to make threats against my men. And that's the real problem with you Forresters. You're too fucking proud. Always have been. It was bad enough when you were above us. And now it's even worse. Because you don't see how far you've fallen!
Still high enough to look down at you.
Wait. Forgive her. Forgive her. The passions of youth. No one questions your authority, Griff. You have the power.
Oh, I like him. You thought this was your man, Roderick? He's mine. A dog to be sure, but my dog. That's how I like to see you, Forresters. Obedient servants!
He's a loyal member of my house. A man of peace. And he deserves to be treated as such.
You don't get it, do you? You Forresters need to learn when you're beaten. You will learn some fucking humility.
He's not making
this won't be the last lesson I teach you, Forresters!
Have you no honor? I'll run your throat for that. I'll cut you down like straw men. Stand down, Royland.
As you wish.
I bet this makes you angry, eh? You probably want to get up and hit me. But we know how that would go, don't we? Now, are you going to be a good little Forrester, learn your lesson, and stay down?
Roderick!
I said, get down! All the way down.
Get up, Roderick!
Stay down, my lord.
Your brother defied Ramsay Snow. He didn't know his place, but we made damn sure he learned. I'll probably have to teach Talia here. Unless you're a good little Forrester. You learn your place and stay down. Some Forrester is gonna learn their lesson today.
Oh, I'll stay down.
Consider this even, girl. Your brother learned the lesson for you. You'd be wise to follow his lead. As would all of you. Your lord is a smart man. First in his line that understands. Now you need to understand too. You can be Lord, Roderick. So long as we all know who holds the reins here. Come on!
You did the right thing, my son. You had to submit.
Aye. A true lord.
But we let them win.
Sometimes you have to lose the battle to win the war, says people who are losing like us. We should have done this so much earlier too. We should have capitulated completely. 5-to-1 ratio of men. We should have just surrendered.
Do you see that? He still acts like he rules the house. But he's let his guard down. So, did he get what he wanted? Or did you? At the time, I wanted you to crush him. I'm just glad you're still alive. We need you, Roderick.
Now is not the time to fight. We'll let them think they have won, until we're ready to strike.
And when you're better, things will be different. I asked Ethan not to change who he was. He promised he wouldn't, and look what happened. I now know that was childish of me. I'm ready to change now. I'm willing to do anything to help our family.
I'd send her
I
away.
mean it, Roderick. I don't care what.
That's good. I'm sure a time will come when our house will call upon you to do what's necessary.
I'd send all
But
these
that
kids
time is
away.
not now.
Far, far away.
And I'm sure the others will do whatever it takes as well. What you did, yielding to Griff, you had your reasons. But
No one can know the future. Whatever tomorrow brings, Talia, the Forresters will stand tall.
We did it. I can't believe it.
Open it and read it and make sure
What are
it
you
was the
waiting
right
for?
thing. Keep it. No, I meant
can't.
this.
What?
After everything, we just...
I can't burn it.
The Khaleesi will see you now.
So, Asher Forrester, if you presume to speak of my dragons, choose your words carefully.
Is she looking at a map or is she looking out a window? So hard to tell with this animation style. We're in blackness for too long there. Then we went to a little loading screen
What have you done, Garrett?
for next
Frostfinger
time.
is calling for your head. Tell me Britt's death was an accident.
Mira, what are you doing? Mira, just tell me what's going on. What are you hiding from me?
We are weak. We have no allies. And Griff claims to be the new Lord of Ironrath.
There's been a raven from Lord Whitehill. He's invited us to High Point.
Drogon wouldn't have attacked without reason.
By order of the Queen,
Fuck you and your queen.
deal with your friend.
Nothing ever stays in the past, Asher.
Carried. It's time to go.
So it definitely feels like some of those next time things were based on our choices, but maybe they really weren't, because it very possibly could have been that we wouldn't have been able to make it to our choices wouldn't have changed the outcome. Often that probably is the case. I would bet for each episode only one major choice, if even that, really is going to follow through to the end of the series, the final episode. So that's the end of episode 3. It's sort of dramatic in that they introduced that character for a second. Are those the actors and actresses voice for the Tyrion Lannister and Demarsy, whatever, the Queen of Dragons? It looks like them. It has their likeness, and it kinda... I wouldn't actually know if it sounds like them since I don't watch the series. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm pretty sure it is Tyrion Lannister's actor, but I don't know about the other one. So here it goes. It says, me and 51% saved Beksha, which just almost a 50-50 split there, where you could have saved either one. Me and 49.7% defied Margacy and spoke to Tyrion. If I hadn't spoken to him, I wouldn't have known about the letter. That probably would have gotten me in major trouble. Now that I have the letter and accidentally kept it because I hit the wrong button, I might be able to try and claim that it was given to me before all of this. Not that any of that really matters, because it's still going to be his signature, his seal. So that's not going to help any. I don't think, whether he gave it to me a week before or a week after he was accused of killing or did kill the king. I don't know which. It doesn't really matter. I think they would not look good on that. Let's see. You and 67.6% walked away from Brit. So the majority, by a little margin, walked away from Brit. It doesn't seem like it matters, though. Unless there was some way we could have avoided a fight completely, we still ended up in that fight. And unless I could have actually done so poorly in the fight that I would have lost but not died, I don't think there was really a way. And then me and 68.1% submitted to Griff Weil. I think that's pretty much what the story demanded of me. Even if I hadn't known everything, it still was probably a good idea to submit to him. I should have done it, frankly, in episode 1 completely. But I think Ethan would have still died. And me and 69.4% kept the Ironwood Decree, which that's a little high percentage there. But burning it and having it in the fire probably is a bad way to leave evidence around anyways. And we have the credits again. Now, when I was reading this credits the last time I saw it, which frankly wasn't that long ago, this episode was long enough, but it's still not you're not talking a 60-hour game here with all 5 episodes or 6 episodes. How many ever there are going to be, we'll look in a second. It's definitely feeling like we're getting 2-3 hours at most per episode. So you're talking a less than 20-hour game in total. It's a little too short. It's a little too short, particularly considering that you're going to have to take some breaks here. At least I'm going to have to take breaks here because they don't have the last 2 episodes out yet. And so, yeah, I really, really have to double down on my thought. I wish they would just wait till they were done. Work on the game as a whole. Drop this whole episodic mentality. This is a very weird form of like add-on DLC content in a lot of ways, because of the first episode is in a lot of arguments could be the core game, and that certainly isn't long enough and good enough to be a game by itself. And then each continuing episode is notice one of these creatures is, they're naming all their pets. One of these creatures is Mojo Jojo, I think. That's what I saw. I mean, I think it's just wrong to name anything Mojo Jojo unless you actually do have a pet monkey. That's from the Powerpuff Girls series, I believe, was Mojo Jojo. And then you're back to, please give us your email. Please give us your email. Every single episode. I mean, how many times do you have to say no? That's ridiculous. Alright, so that's episode 3. We have episode 4. And then coming soon episode 5. Coming soon episode 6. As far as I think we are kind of getting cautiously close to where the TV series is right now. And I imagine this will probably end our story, which is definitely a side story, before anything is revealed or goes differently than what the TV series is. It seems like they're pretty much following the TV series in the broad strokes of the story, at least. So we can rewind. The rewind would take us back to This point where they're stuck in the cavern, this point, this point, this point, this point, and this point. I don't really see how you could rewind to a specific point and make the choices different. I think it's hard to think that way for me. I would much rather just play the whole game all over again. But I don't think that works. I really don't think you could sit here and play if you got the game when it first came out and you wanted to just play episode 1. I don't think you could then turn around and play episode 1 again and then maybe a few weeks later play it again and be into your 4th or 5th run of episode 1 by the time episode 2 comes out. There aren't enough decisions, and I don't think it's really motivating you to do any of that. So, in fact, because these are your decisions you're making in the game, I would have a very hard justification even replaying it once. This does not feel like a game that would motivate me to do a good run and a bad run. There aren't clear good and bad options here. I think it seems definitely like either way you choose it, it's just all gonna turn out rotten in the Game of Thrones world. So yeah, we're gonna start with next episode. We're gonna do episode 4. We'll go through episode 4, and then that'll be it for me for recording until episode 5 comes out, which it doesn't say a date. I don't know a date. It may be months from now. It may be a few days from the now. By the time you're watching this episode, the 5th episode might be out, and I might have recorded or be recording it right there. I'll do the new episodes as soon as I hear that they're out. Do I particularly recommend buying a game that isn't complete when it is so heavy story based? I can't. I mean, no way could I do that. I have a very strong stance about never pre-ordering games, and ooh, does this feel like pre-ordering. This feels like pre-ordering a game 5-6 times in a row. For every episode is a pre-order. Really, you buy episode 1 before episode 2 is out, you've pre-ordered 5 games that you have to hope come out good. And what happens if in episode 3 it was just a horrible mess and they don't even bother to finish it? I mean, that would be pretty bad. Anyways, that's it for this episode. As always, I ask that you like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can do that by clicking on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media site, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.